All right, guys. Well, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm gonna be reacting to Warren Cali, the Brim Killer, the story of the founder of the Rolling 30 Crips, Rolling 30 Harlem Crips. They're not gangster. They're not neighborhood. They're just Rolling 30 Harlem Crips, and this is the story of the Brim Killer. Let me get to the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and share, guys.
Introducing the Anchor Prime charging station.
Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I'm going to detail the story of Big James Miller from the original Harlem 30 Crips. Big James was born James Miller on
I guess I was wrong. It's called the original Harlem Rolling 30 Crips.
July 27, 1955 in Los Angeles, California.
1955? Damn, he old.
But his parents will later split up, and he will later move around Los Angeles in various different areas. Much of James' childhood, he will be back and forth between his mother and father's homes, putting him to go to different schools in different areas and meeting a host of new people. As a kid, James was chubby, so he was often picked on because of his weight. But by middle school, James would go through a transition, and his body would change, with him becoming muscular. And the past issues that he faced would build hate and vengeance in James. And anybody who messed with him in the past or the future were going to pay for it. Over the teenage years of James' life, he became known for being a tough individual, and he would go against anybody who opposed him. During the 70s and James' teenage years, Crips and Blood gangs started forming all over Los Angeles, and James and his crew of friends will form a gang called the Harlem Godfathers. And James is credited as being a founder at
I guess it was called the Harlem Godfathers at first.
James would go to various high schools like Dorsey and Manual Arts and was known as a football star. But James was still active and gangbanging heavy in the streets. And at Manual Arts, he would get into it with the brim.
You gotta see, bruh. Half the gangbangers, half everybody everywhere was a football player, somebody in school or in high school or something doing some stuff. And for him, he was a football player. So what you gonna say? Oh, the Blood was gonna say, oh, he was a football player. He wasn't no threat like that. Well, let's get to the video and see if he was doing that, applying to the streets, applying pressure.
Again, a lot of the Crips hated. The Brims would eventually become Bloods and a top rival to several Crip gangs, like the gang that James would be in. With everything that James was involved in the streets, James would go to juvenile hall and even youth authority during his teenage years, and he would further his name in the gang world, being known for his size, which he would gain the name Big James or BJ. And his heart and his leadership and fighting skills got him respect from several sets. Back on the streets, Big James will become even more vicious over time. His street activities would gain him the name the Brim Killer, with the Brims or other Bloods being his gang main rival.
Well, he just had the Brim Killer because I don't know if he was he said he wasn't doing nothing, honestly. So he just got it because that was his enemies. So anything the enemies was banging, he was the enemy's K type stuff. So like he didn't catch no bodies before he earned that name. Because this generation, before you catch that name, you gotta have a body. And that's mandatory. That's mandatory in this generation. Like, even your homie's gonna tell you, hey, you ain't put no work to get that name, you gonna put some work in.
And that's something Big James would take to heart, trying to destroy every rival in his way. The Harlem Godfathers would later become the original Harlem Crips.
Now you see, trying to destroy every rival that's in his way or that he found that he could really do that to. Okay.
Other names like the Rolling 30 Crips off their geographical location within their turf, with their turf being located on the west side of South Central, within the streets based in the 30s. By the mid-70s,
really, I feel like the 30s is the kind of more dangerous because in Long Beach it's Rolling 20 Crips. In South Central it's I don't know, let me take that back. I don't know if it's in South Central, but it's in West LA. I think the Rolling 20s. Uh, it's right next to the Rolling 20s is right next to the Rolling 30s Crips. So like they beef automatically because red and blue they don't mix.
Big James was causing a lot of destruction.
Unless it's Grape
and him
Street
being part
Crip.
of a lot of shootings, a lot of gang wars, and also a lot of robberies. But by 1976, James will be arrested on a long list of charges, from a long list of robberies, kidnappings, and also murders. And this will be a long, dragged out case.
Who did he kidnap? Did his homies was where his homies was like, oh yeah, you could kidnap him. We not finna politic on you or nothing. Like that's cool. You could kidnap that person. Like when is kidnapping cool? Like when you kidnap a rival. Like when is that cool?
That took 4 trials to finally decide Big James and his co-defendant's fate. After 3 mistrials off this case, Big James will be sentenced to life in prison at the young age of 21.
Sentenced to life in prison at the age of 21. That's crazy. You barely living life and you got a life in prison. You must not want this some money in the free. You must not want some pussy from the females. I'm sorry if YouTube gonna demonetize me for saying that word, but damn, it's money, girls, and what else you could get in the free, like literally.
While in prison, Big James' reputation and status will grow, becoming one of the most reputable and known Crips mentioned in history. He will be a major part of several Crip organizations in prison, like Blue Magic and CCO. CCO will mean Consolidated Crip Organization, but CCO will later disband on several factors, mostly being inner circle turmoil. And Big James will even have his own issue with CCO over him calling shots that will lead to several members getting disciplined, which led to beef within the gang. That move.
You see, when you a leader like that, and you want your homies to get disciplined because they doing wrong or whatever, you in the wrong because you support because they probably went against him like, nah, bro, we not finna change for you.
Will lead to Big James almost losing his life.
You see, they probably try to kill him right there. Like he said, he almost lost his life. So like, what you think that was? Something was who was gonna stab him? He was a big dude.
After several years in prison, James will start to change his gangster ways and focus on becoming a better man, and he will pick up skills and trades while in prison. Big James had endured a lot of chaos in.
You see, he wasn't putting his homies on like, oh yo, bro, you could do this. You could learn how to do trade. You can know how to make money. You can learn how to do this. Nah, bro. He was doing it by himself. He wasn't doing it with nobody's help.
Life from juvenile hall, youth authority, and prison.
Damn, I don't even want to have this shirt on while I'm doing this YouTube video on this Rolling 30 Crip, because he said he's a brim killer and I got red on. I'm not no blood. I'm not no Paru. I don't bang none of that.
Which he went to prison for the rest of his life at the young age of 21. So in his final days of life, Big James will be at peace until his death in 2006 at the age of 50.
When you hit the pen, when you hit that yard with life in prison, how will you be like? How will you say, oh yeah, I died in peace? I would not die in peace if I'm doing 99 years in jail or incarcerated. Like I would hate myself for being in there and being like, oh yeah, I'm doing this much. I'm doing life and I'm never going home. I'm gonna regret that. I'm gonna really regret that. And that's why you see him trying to change his ways before he passed.
Big James spent over 30 years of his life being locked up, and he gained a deadly reputation from the streets to prison. The gang
You see, he went to the afro to a straight cut. He went from afro to a straight 2 or 1, like ho.
form, the Rollin 30 Crips will go on to be one of the most known Crip gangs in Los Angeles.
and the rolling 30 crip. Rolling 30 crip is one of the most famous rolling sets because the first famous set was rolling 60s, and that's the second most famous set because A-Trade gangsters, they move under the trade card, and they're rolling 30 crip. So it's like y'all fitting this the three because we're rolling 30s, or because of the A-Trade. Like that really put them in the middle. So it's like, okay guys, we're not neighborhood, we're not gangster, we're just rolling 30 Harlem Crips.
And around the world, having different branches in other cities, in other states, all that came from Big James doing. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, check out my previous episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
All right guys, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is the end of the video.